Why do you take the time to read online, in books, maybe even go to school, the defense of the Christian faith? What is the purpose of learning those arguments in your life? If it is to be a boxer who can knock out anybody's argument, you've got the wrong motivation. Instead, let's take a look at a helpful list. It might cause you and me to adjust our amount of studying in apologetics and almost certainly how we apply it so that we do not need to apologize for our apologetics. A helpful list from Apologetics 3:15. Number 5, you're not in it to win arguments. You're in it to win people. If you sound nasty, you've got the wrong motivation. If when somebody is talking, it's just, yeah, let's just get, I got it. I know what you're going to say because I've studied this and I just want to get to the verse so that I can knock you out with my apologetics argument. You've got the wrong motivation. Number 6, be mindful of your spiritual life above your apologetics studies. It is a fun field. Why? Because it's all true. The Bible is eminently defensible. And all of the arguments that people come up with, the assaults on the faith, they've been dealt with for centuries, and there's oodles of information that cause you to go, yeah, this is great. I am so right about the faith that I believe in. It's a fun field, but not at the expense of your spiritual growth. If your apologetic studies are causing you to spend more time to equip you to enter into a boxing match at the expense of spiritual growth and sweetening, you might actually want to set aside your apologetic study for a season so that you can grow in, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Number 7, get input and feedback from other apologists and mature Christian peers. Here's the one right here. Mature Christian peers. Find one. Study that person. Watch that guy in action and then ask some questions if you can. Questions that might be painful to hear the response to, like, how am I doing? What's my tone? When you hear me engaging in an apologetics argument or read my writing on the internet, what do you think my motivation is? Do people hear somebody who cares about them, or do they hear somebody who just wants to cut up their argument with an apologetical Ginsu knife because I've got to win? Would you please be honest with me? Most likely, you know somebody that you could go to, but maybe you don't like the idea of checking in with that person because secretly you think, that person just isn't as aggressive as he or she should be. That's probably the very person that you need to talk to. Number 8 from Apologetics 3:15, pray for the people that you're interacting with. If you're not praying and all you're doing is just preying on victims so that you can show off your skills, wrong motivation, wrong use of time. Our hearts should be motivated about the person being persuaded, convicted of sin, righteousness, and judgment, running to the Lord, submitting to His kingship, and praying to that end. Does your apologetics include prayer? Number 9 from Apologetics 3:15, never respond to blog comments in an emotional state. Cool off first and pray. Might I go a step further? Do you need to respond to a blog comment? I know sometimes there can actually be some helpful posts that are left on an article, a video. I get that. But when you read something that just kind of causes you to get a shirk or a jerk, do you have to respond to it? Is it really necessary? Is it really going to be helpful? You and I have both experienced this, have we not? You leave a comment and your heart was right, but the person reads it wrong. that's really understandable. We're talking about a few characters here. We're talking where everybody's quick, everybody's thinking really fast. We got stuff to do. We got another article. I've got about 17 windows open. I don't have time to think about your motivation. And we go about the business of shooting each other up. Do we really need to respond? Now, it's one thing to respond to an unbeliever. We've got to apply all of these rules. But do we need to be having a public snark fest with fellow believers? This is merely my subjective observation. Could be wrong about this, didn't consult with George Barna, but it seems to me, I've been reading more and more people criticizing more and more fellow believers with whom they used to have sweet fellowship. They would do conferences together. They got along. They were on the same team. Today, I read one comment from a guy who used to be a pal with that fellow, a response to this video, and now we separate on this issue. Are we sure that we need to be having skirmishes on the public internet? Just asking. If you have been going bonkers regarding health insurance, right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. I am thrilled to commend to you MediShare, a community of Christians sharing each other's health care bills. 400,000 members strong, sharing over $4 billion in medical bills. That means a savings on average per family of $500 per month. Find out more by going to medishare.com/wretched.